What is good, guys? It's your girl Mimi. So we are gonna get into Love Is Blind UK, and we're gonna discuss on episode 1 and 2. So before we proceed, if you haven't already, please subscribe to your girl. Like the video already. Please just like it. I know you're gonna enjoy it, and hype it up. Hype it up. Help your girl out. So let's get into it. So we're first introduced to Jack, and he is a major red flag. The flags were waving even at the first episode. Major love bomber, everything that the show needs to create a mess. Like, he is the chaos and a mess of the season. He came to give us entertainment, but at the expense of breaking the girlies' hearts, which is what I don't want. Very unserious, and he doesn't seem authentic to me. I feel like behind all this energetic, funny, like, it's just performative. Like, the very first conversation he had with Fay, he basically told her that I'm going to be dreaming about you, and the next day he had a dream about her. Like, girls, let's, like, in those notes that the girls are taking, let's note these things down so we can spot the flaws, we can spot the lack of authenticity. He was giving love bombing vibes because he already saying he loves these girls. It's only the first episode. Well, only Justin. And he's already saying Faye is the one who's going to propose to her. But now, next person he meets is Kira. And now he's feeling Kira more than Faye. The pattern is the same because he's out here telling, Kira that I love the sound of your voice. That was the same way he introduced himself to Faye and basically said, I love the sound of your voice. Kira is giving posh vibes. She basically tells Jack that she's looking for someone to treat her like a princess because she enjoys the luxury, the expensive kind of thing. And, we can basically tell the way she talks as well, like the way she carries herself is giving like, you gonna spend money on me. I don't think anybody in this villa, I don't think anybody in these pods will give this woman what she wants. I don't think so. I'm thinking like with the expectation that this girl is looking for in a man, she's looking for someone like rich. She's looking for a millionaire/billionaire kind of status. I'm thinking like you came to Love Is Blind for that. It's mainly normal people that come here, normal people trying to be influencers that come up in here. Millionaire, billionaire status, what are we looking for? And it's given like she actually came in to get an influencer bag. That's the only thing, because you're not going to find a millionaire husband in Love Is Blind. It's rare. In that conversation, Jack tells Kira that he loves her. It's day one already. You're saying this similar thing to Faye as well. So further on about Kira, she's basically telling the girls how she has this high maintenance lifestyle, that minimum spend for dinner dates is £300. Okay. And she goes further and said one of the dates that she's been to cost $15,000, and that was for like the Wimbledon men kind of event. £15,000. She definitely just came to Love Is Blind for herself, because you ain't gonna find you ain't gonna find a wealthy man here. So further on, it's Kira. Kira said she has been cheated on in every relationship that she's been in. Like, I don't like cheating. Like, cheating is not what I advocate for. But if you're being cheated on in every darn relationship, specify how many relationships it is. If it's like 2 relationships, you could have just said like she's been in 2 relationships. But she said all the relationships. So it's good like she's been in many relationships. That is a question. That is a concern for me towards Kira. Like, every darn relationship, what type of relationships are these? In terms of the lifestyle that you state for yourself. We got a side eye. So Kira is also getting to know AJ. AJ seems like a nice guy. I don't think any guy is for Kira. But he's from a basketball background. He's retired from that. He was a former professional basketballer, and he was also a former it was also into finance and banking, but that was a previous thing as well. But now he's training to be a qualified Pilates instructor, while at the same time Kira also reveals that she's a Pilates instructor as well. So it seems like they're gonna have this Pilates business when they get out. And I'm thinking like, Kira, do 2 plus 2 together. Former basketball player, former finance and banking. The question should be, what are you doing right now? What's the career status right now? Because it's given unemployed. Since you're waiting to be that qualified Pilates instructor. And I don't know how much a Pilates instructor will be making. I don't know how much they'll be making. But anyways, she didn't ask that question. So after the dates, we got Kira telling the girls that, she's into Jack, she's also into AJ, but Jack is like, it's given like she's kind of more into Jack. Then she tells the girl that he jokingly said he loves me. Faye was like, he told me that as well. And I'm thinking like, immediately you girls clocked the bullshit. Y'all should have questioned him on that. Y'all should have knew that he's full of shit, like it's not serious. That should have been the end of the conversation. It should have been the end. But the girls did not question him on that. They did later on question on other things, but like this was the first flags that we should have raised and raised concerns about. He says he loved both of you. Like if he said it to one girl jokingly, okay. But he said it to both of you, run away. Run. So now we get into Jack's second conversation with Faye, and he basically said, I had a dream about you. And I told you guys to clock the first thing they said in the first meeting. He said he's going to have a dream about her, and he definitely did have a dream about Faye in the next conversation. This man is here to feed us lies and deceit. And Faye, she is a hopeless romantic, probably because she's falling for everything here. Because obviously she rides horses and everything. He was like, I had a dream that, they were doing like horse riding kind of thing. And he described that this horse was like light brown with, some white stripes. And the girl, which is Faye, who hasn't seen, has long blonde hair. And Faye is like impressed. It was a lucky guess. It was a lucky guess. A white woman. Let me guess the hairstyle. Let me guess the hair color. Blonde. Like a lot of people there are blonde. Even if you said that same thing to Faye, she'll eat it up because she too's blonde. She's too blonde with long hair. And it's guaranteed that the cast will have someone blonde. Anyways, I feel like it was just a lucky guess. And she was like, ooh. She was happy about that. The next thing she was like, oh, like describe the horse, and then he was like, brown with a white stripe. And then she was like, oh yeah, I have that horse. Like my pony is that color. I think you have a few horses and he made a lucky guess. But anyways, Faye ate it up because she's feeling like that's like a very impressive, like, maybe I am his dream girl kind of vibes. I just feel like it was a lucky guess. But he ate that. So although Faye was eating it up, she did kind of question that with everything you're giving me to eat up, like, are you genuine? And he was like, of course I'm genuine. But I feel like she should have asked, why did you say you love both me and Kira? That would have been a good question. But she basically said, okay, I guess. She took his word for it. So she basically took his word for it because he basically said he's being genuine, he's being honest with her with everything that he's saying. But I'm thinking like, girl, trust the instincts. Trust the instinct. He's not, your intuition is telling you this man is not genuine. But so Faye goes in telling the girls that he had a dream about me, that, I had this long blonde hair. And look at this. I have a long blonde hair, period. So obviously Kira hears what's going on and she's feeling a bit skeptical about Jack. Like, what are you feeding Faye? So Jack basically tells the boys that he is going to go into those pods and basically ask the girls, like, where do you rank me? So he can focus on who wants to focus on him. Okay. He basically wants Kira. Kira is the girl that he wants. So Jack goes in saying that I want to know where you rank me so I can know like where I stand. Like you're like up there for me. Like there's no other height that can be reached where you are. He basically tried to get her to let him know where he ranks her. He tried about 3 times. And at the end of the day, Kira just said, yeah, like we're on the same page. Because he did mention that, you're like my top, you're like my number one. And then she basically concluded, we're on the same page. Which basically means that she does agree that Jack is her number one, but she didn't say it directly. It was more like indirect. It's like it was more like indirect because it's like, we're on the same page, but she didn't say it. But it's kind of like you did say it. Because that's what Jack took from the conversation, that you said he's your number one.
If you were to tell me I was ranked the same as you were ranked, I feel like that turns to a top one quite easily.
We're definitely on the same track.
While in the confessional, she's like, she didn't say it. She just said, like, you're my top connection. She didn't really say, like, you're my strongest connection. Okay, girl. Jack goes to the boys and says, she said, I'm her number one. And he knows exactly what he's doing because AJ is right there. It was given competition. Jack was competing with AJ, even though he said there's no competition. But based on your behavior, based on the way you're acting, it's given like there is a competition. Jack even kind of mentioned that he knows exactly who's going to propose to, like this man.
So what did she say?
Yeah, that's number one.
Anyone else having a good day today?
Am I worried about any competition in the lounge?
AJ is confused about what is going on because he's basically like, both me and Jack, we got nothing in common, and straight facts. So Joseph is our black man. Is that the only black man we have? Yeah. Well, I think there were other black men there, but this is the only guy that, this is the only guy that would get a story about. Joseph is a good looking man. We can't lie about that. He sounds exactly like Ollie, and I didn't like Ollie. Like, Ollie's okay now, but I didn't like Ollie in his own season. And they sound exactly the same. Like, when he comes up, I just remember Ollie. And we know how things ended in that Love is Blind season. Even though he's happily married now, but we know how that ended. So that's what it's giving me. It's giving me flashbacks. So Joseph is Christian, of course. He's Christian, family orientated, is looking for a woman who shares that same value. But, when Christian men come to this Love is Blind, they never give. They never give that Christian vibes that they should give. But who am I to judge? Am I a perfect Christian? Absolutely not. But then again, we're watching, we're reviewing, so we're kind of judging these people by what we're seeing. But either way, love that he's, saying his beliefs on the screen. So Joseph is getting to know Chiovanique and Francesca. So Chiovanique ticks the box in terms of like the Christian values, everything. Francesca too ticks the box. She's Catholic as well. So both girls, they align. So now we get into episode 2 and we're introduced to Yasmin. I like Yasmin. Yasmin is my favorite girl. She seems like very genuine, very kind, authentic. It seems like she came there for the right reasons. Yasmin hasn't been in a serious relationship before. Like, she's dated and everything, but she hasn't been in like a serious relationship. And a lot of, whenever you go on these shows, many people find as a red flag. I don't think it's a red flag. Even in a relationship, whether you've been in a relationship for like 100 years before, it doesn't mean the relationship you're in. It doesn't mean when you get married, things are going to go so well. I feel like it just has to do with your character. Character is the most important thing, and also that you love the person. Yeah, I feel like that's the main thing. Your character, your understanding, ability to compromise, all these things. But people see it as a red flag. I don't think it is. She basically just said she's just looking for the right person, and she hasn't introduced anyone to her family yet. So if she basically finds someone, introduce her family, her parents will know like this is serious because she never brought anyone into the house before. It's giving like she's serious. Like, if she want to date, she's gonna date someone. She's gonna date to marry. That's what it's giving. I ship Jasmine and Jordan. I like them together. Jordan was a bit skeptical about the whole not being a relationship thing because he's thinking like she doesn't know how she would do with situations, live with other people, introduced to family and friends. But she basically said like, it's all good. Like, you introduce me to your family, they're gonna like me. Like, we're good with that. And Jordan ate it up. Yasmin opens up about her vertigo to Jordan. She basically says that it makes her not have like confidence and like dating. Like, it definitely affected her dating. She had to like put on makeup to cover it up. And I feel like Yasmin looks good. And Jordan comforts her. I like them together. Like, I don't really see anything, and that's the problem. When we don't see anything in these pods, like the pods are like a journey, it's cutesy, but then they get out and everybody hates each other. Previews I've seen for the next few episodes, I don't think it's looking good for anybody. But anyways, for now, I like Yasmin and Jordan. So now we get into Ryan and Cuba. Every Love is Blind season, we also have to have these couples that are into the crystals, into spirituality. The last time we had the spleen man, Patrick. This time we have Ryan, and he met his match Cuba, and they're both into spiritual lifestyle. I'm not into that, but they match. I mean, she's the only spiritual person there. So it made sense that they would match. But like what made me like, and like he doesn't want his kids to go to school. So I kind of side-eye that, like, but he wants to teach them like normal things like farming, all these things that they actually need. And I'm thinking like, can they be homeschooled? Because I feel like education is kind of important. They would need some kind of education. I do understand like the education system is bullshit. The education system is not good. If you have the ability to homeschool your kids, do that. So I feel like homeschool would be good, but based on what he's saying, he doesn't want his children to be educated. But I hope I'm reading it wrong. I hope they're actually going to be homeschooled. Taylor and Sophie, they gave nothing for me. Like there was nothing to discuss about. It was like an instant connection. So then we have AJ and Kira. And AJ, I think about 2 times AJ has confronted Kira about this other connection. I'm thinking like, boy, focus on your connection. Like we're going to bring it up Jack into when you guys are having a conversation. But he brings it up anyway because it's insecure about it, because Jack knows exactly what he's doing. He's trying to press AJ, trying to prove that he's the better option. But anyways, AJ basically said that he needs some clarity, like that he heard some things through the grapevine, that Kira is more interested in someone else, and basically says since day one, you are my choice. And it's kind of putting like Kira in a weird position because it's like, girl, you want me or not kind of vibes. It's giving like an ultimatum, but it's not like an ultimatum. Kira does let him know that she's not really sure whether Jack is genuine or sincere. So it's something that she's conflicted about. She's basically confused with Jack. And it's true, Jack is not genuine. But I feel like she does like Jack more than AJ. But knowing well that Jack is kind of playing both her and Faye, she's questioning. She's questioning it. I feel like she would have preferred if Jack was all for her. I feel like she would go for Jack. But Jack is not really serious. So now we have Joseph talking to Chiovanique.
What do you feel about having sex before marriage? Like, what's your opinion on that?
I would always want to have sex before marriage.
What else would we expect from the Christian men that come on this shows? Like, they never really show. But then who am I to judge? Because this is what Christian is now. Like, there is no much more values or moralities in this Christendom. So he basically says, yeah, definitely, like, I'm here for sex before marriage. I advocate for that. But anyways, he believes sex before marriage is important to know if they're compatible, because he loves the physical. Like, physical is very important. And Chiovanique is obviously good with that conversation because she's like a sex health nurse person. I don't know. She works in that area, so she's good with it as well. So now Joseph talks to you. Joseph is feeling Francesca more. But with Chiovanique, he loves that, you know, they're able to talk about the physical aspect and everything. But with Francesca, she's more like the shy girl. She don't really like to talk about like intimacy that much. But later on, Francesca does try her best because she likes Joseph as well. Like, since Francesca is kind of like reserved in talking about intimacy, it could be an issue, because if this man says he wants to get under your pants before marriage, and this show is Love is Blind, so is Francesca going to open up before the wedding bells rings? That's what I don't know. I feel like, Francesca, keep your values. I don't feel like in this show that the woman should open up to the men. It's like, let's get married first. But everybody has their own values. So it is what it is. If she opens up and then they don't get married at that damn altar, Francesca, is on you. So now we have Kira and Jack, and this was a very awkward conversation because the energy was completely off from Kira's side. But I feel like before she came into the pods to talk to Jack, she was not gonna have it with anything that came up. She was there to call him out. I feel like she's kind of pissed off that he's getting to know 2 girls when she believes that she's that girl. Anyways, so the energy is completely off because, number one, he started talking about, you know, they start talking about like food, like what's your favorite drink, all these things. And he mentions cheese and she gets pissed off immediately because, like, boy, do you listen to the conversations that we have? And it's clear that he doesn't. It's clear that Jack does not, because she was pissed off saying that, do you not remember that I'm vegan? And then he makes the same mistake after 30 seconds later, mentions mozzarella. And she was so pissed off, saying that Jack, like, can you hear? Can you listen to yourself? But I feel like the second conversation, he was talking about the food that he likes. If he likes cheese, it kind of has nothing to do with you being vegan. But anyway, she was not having it with this man because he doesn't have like attention to detail. But at the same time, it did say he has ADHD. But I know you have ADHD, but you still love bombing, saying you love everybody. Saying you love all these girls. It has nothing to do with it. I feel like he's just a playful man and is not serious at all. He's not listening to anything these girls are saying. Yeah, she don't like it because he didn't pay attention. But I feel like she was never gonna have it when she came into that pod. She came with that energy to basically she basically wants him to set things straight, stand on business. So Jack tries to play it off like, it's getting too serious, and he was like, "Oh, our first argument," and she was not with it. She was not into the jokes. It was dead silence. Like the mood was off, was awkward. It was very tense. So then we have Jack basically kind of saying that he's just gonna write a few notes on whatever the conversation they had. And she basically jokingly said, "Yeah, you're gonna write me a love letter." I feel like there was some things caught off there. Because I'm thinking like it was Kira that initiated him writing a letter. But later on we find out that he actually said he was gonna write her a letter. But either way, she basically jokingly said, "Yeah, you're gonna write me a love letter." And he says, "Don't tempt me," or something. He gets out of there feeling very awkward, completely writes off Kira. And I'm thinking like, if you really like the girl, one awkward conversation should not change the whole vibe that you had with her. Immediately saying that he had way more fun, talking to Fay, like the comparison, that conversation, like now Fay is the one for him. And I'm like, Kira was the one for you yesterday. Kira was the one for you a few minutes ago. So we have Jack saying that, Fay is the one for me. She gets me, and I'm going to write something special for her. What he wrote for her gave nothing to me. There's no emotions in that thing that he wrote for her. Like I felt nothing, but Faye ate it up. She was crying. She was like, "Nobody did this for me before." I was like, okay, girl. So now Kira and Jack are having a conversation. And Kira was basically saying that she wants a man who knows what he wants, which I feel like is code for pick me and dump Faye. That's what it's giving. Like, I'm that girl. But Jack hops in and says that, it kind of gives like we're not really compatible, like maybe I'm not the one for you, like we don't really click. She basically says like, "Jack, you're inconsistent. Like you said that I'm your number one, but at the same time you're pursuing Faye." Like she's confused. Then we see Jack calling Faye the wrong name. He calls her Fran. And Kira was right to call him out. That you claim that you like Faye so much, but you're calling her the wrong name. Okay, sometimes you can slip up with names. But like this man makes another mistake later on. So it's like, it's very consistent. But Jack continues to say like, Faye is more fun. Like our conversation is more fun. Which basically means conversation with you, Kira, is boring. That's what it means. You basically say he gets along with Kira, but it's not the same. Like Faye is more fun, you're not. I feel like it was very unnecessary for Jack to say those things. But I think it was trying to make Kira jealous or something. Like it was very unnecessary to say like your conversation with you is boring, Faye is more fun. Like it was very unnecessary. So now Kira is bitter. Kira is pissed off that he ended things. Like she would have preferred to be the one to end things, but the fact that he did it first. But she basically tells the girl that she wanted to end things, but he chimed in to end things before me. It was kind of like a competition on who would end it first. But I don't feel like that's what it was. I feel like you felt like you were better than Faye. And then she starts to say like, Jack said I was his number one. Then we see him, being like this with Faye, and he even called Faye the wrong name. Girl, you know exactly what you're doing. The thing is that you could have said these things before, but you decided to say it now after he broke things off with you. I mean, she did tell Jack that, I didn't let Faye know these things because I didn't want to hurt her. I didn't let her know that you said I'm your number one because I didn't want to hurt her. But you just kind of did what you said you wouldn't do. So it's giving like hypocrisy, like you're being hypocritical now. Like you hurt her now saying it. She just frustrated because she was rejected by Jack. That's what it is. Obviously, Faye hearing this, she is confused. She's like, what is going on here? Like, is Jack being honest with me? Like, she's questioning things. Like, is this man actually genuine? Subscribe if you haven't already, comment, and I'll see you guys for the next episode, which is going to be episode 3 and 4.